Okay, TA.
This the Carousel, the host Al Flemings. Came to lock the game like my name Val Demings. Fantasy and flavors,
Yeah.
new edition. The intro to the show is brought by True Ambition. Round and round we go, shouts out to Eric Wilson. Knowledge for your wins, all you gotta do is listen. Hungry for info, food for thought, got all your fixing. You know, FOO, value facts over opinion. 4-3-3-4, my defense beats our system. Injury report,
Flex.
winning while I'm grinning. Dominate the point of attack from the line of scrimmage. For long as you can't beat my squad, go gather all your minions. Carousel,
This
carousel,
is
carousel. This the carousel. On or you're off, either you're on or you're off, either you're on or you're off.
what?
Knock 'em out.
Welcome back to the Carousel, ladies and gentlemen. I want to give a special shout out and thanks to all of the sports groups on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, so on and so forth. Let's dive right in. Week 3 didn't have a lot of injuries, unlike week 2. So no Dr. Chona this week, thank goodness. But I do want to talk about a team that's in some pain. They're 0-3. Their coach is about to get fired. The Birds are kind of dirty. They've been playing in the mud. I need to talk to a friend. Can you please bring in Sports Illustrated's newest, hottest writer, Danny Thompson, so we can clear some things up?
My main man, Alex, what's going on, sir?
How you doing, Mr. Thompson?
I mean, what can you say? It's been a wonderful week in Atlanta as a Falcons fan. I'm glad basketball's on. That's the most important thing right now, I guess.
Thank goodness you can get the Atlanta Braves, right?
I'm not a Braves fan. That's the sad part. I'm not from Atlanta. I'm a Falcons fan. So
On a scale
more
of
can
1 to 1,000, how much pain are you feeling right
I felt more pain after the Dallas game than I did last week, only because when you're a Falcons fan, this stuff is kind of immune to you. Collapsing in the fourth quarter or blowing leads in the fourth quarter, or the defense not holding water, you get used to it after a while. I mean, it's a numbing feeling. We're just really counting down the days until Dan Quinn's unemployed at this point, as a fan.
How many days until Dan Quinn gets fired?
The funny thing is, Alex, 2020 has been a weird year. Okay. We had COVID in sports, everything going on with loss of some of our greatest athletes with Kobe. You had everything going on with the riots. You had COVID-19 shutting down everything. We have the NBA championship in a bubble. The NHL was literally played with no fans and not even video fans. We had the Tampa Bay Lightning win a Stanley Cup with no fans, unfortunately, because if it had been Tampa, you'd still be dealing with riots right now as we speak. We have baseball with 8 teams per conference in the per league in the playoffs, and the Falcons. Well, in the most 2020 thing of all time, watch Atlanta win Monday night, because everybody's calling for Dan Quinn's job anyway. The most Dan Quinn thing that Dan Quinn can do is actually win on Monday night, and I'll tell you why. Last year, Atlanta started 1-7, and we had the same conversation about, is Dan Quinn going out the door? Light bulb turned on. The Falcons started tackling, and Atlanta goes 6-2 down the stretch, and Dan Quinn saves his job. When everybody knew he was a goner at this point. As a fan, I was hoping top 3 pick because I really wanted Chase Young.
I have a small request. We have fans that watch the show, and anybody can hop on the carousel. I'm going to bring in a Houston Texans fan because I believe he may have a message for all Texas fans and NFL fans. Can you bring in Pat, please?
Hi.
Hi, welcome.
How are you, friend?
I'm good. Can you tell people your first name and who you're a fan of?
Oh, well, my name is Katie, and I'm a Houston Texans fan, but really I just love JJ.
So you're
Who
just
doesn't?
a fan of JJ.
I mean, he should have given me a chance, but he chose that soccer player. I don't know what happened, but he didn't even give me time of day.
Understood. It must be rough being a Houston Texan fan. They're 0-3 facing the 0-3 Minnesota Vikings.
It's been a disaster.
Nothing to say about that.
It's been a disaster. This season has been absolutely awful.
If you have a message for J.J. Watt or for Bill O'Brien, now's your time.
Well, really, I'm just kind of upset with the fans who are so upset about all the political propaganda that's going on in the NFL, but really they're the ones that's bringing it the most. We've got these players who do a lot of good for their communities, and they're just hated on no matter what they do. I learned a long time ago if I didn't want my freedom of speech impeded, then I couldn't step on the toes of anybody else's freedom of speech. Everyone's got the right to say what they want, and that's the great thing about this country. As far as Bob, I think it's time for him to go.
Bob, would that be Bill O'Brien?
Oh, Bill O'Brien, it's time to go. It's time to go.
So you're another Houston Texan fan that says fire Bill O'Brien.
Yes, they should have done that a long time ago.
You know what, Katie, from I believe good old state of Texas, I thank you for your time and I share your sentiment. Fire Bill O'Brien.
Fire Bill O'Brien. Thanks. Y'all have a good one.
You too.
See, so it's not just Dan Quinn on the hot seat, bro. We got people in Texas who want Bill gone too.
Listen, I mean, they could all join the bandwagon, but the thing is, Bill hasn't gotten to the Super Bowl. Bill hasn't blown 28-3. Bill's team knows how to recover onside kicks. Bill's team doesn't blow a 16-point lead the following week. When it's so bad that Mitchell Trubisky gets pulled in the game, and you would think that Nick Foles only plays good in Philadelphia green, but obviously he doesn't. He plays better.
All right, so our time is running short, Mr. Thompson. I have 3 requests from you. 1,
Yes.
who's the hot player besides Calvin Ridley that's going to show up for the Falcons? 2, promote your podcast because I believe you're going live tonight. And 3, the prediction for Monday night's game.
Well, you can. My show tonight is Beyond the Buzzer. Myself and my 3-point conversion colleague Kyle Nash. We talk all things sports. We will talk about Doc Rivers, the Doc Rivers hiring. Of course, we'll talk NFL, and we're also getting some college football, and we might even talk about give baseball 5 minutes or so. As far as what to watch for on Monday night for Atlanta, listen, Atlanta didn't have Julio Jones last week, and they still put up points. I think the guy to watch with Jones being back in line is Russell Gage is actually healthy as the number 3 receiver. He's been really good. And for some odd reason, I think Atlanta wins by 31-30 on Monday night. Since this is 2020, why not? I feel like this is going to be the night for Dan Quinn to save his job, literally.
Okay, that's what you believe, and you're a Falcons fan. I'll let it go. Mr. Dave Thompson, News Sports Illustrated, thank you for your time.
My pleasure, my friend. We'll speak soon.
All right, now let's go from an 0-3 team that has coaches issues to a team that's 3-0 and is just cooking. Dangerous has some dangerous numbers in Seattle, and it's a good time to be a Seattle fan. So I had to reach into my memory bank and get some of that truth serum to realize that, hey, I got a Seattle fan in my roster. Can we bring in Jeffrey Lockenkamp, please?
What's going on, Alex? How you doing, man? Uh-oh, it froze up on me.
How you been?
Doing good, man. How about yourself?
Man, life's right now. Life's okay right now. Could always be better, but I'm happy. Losing weight, feeling great. Got a light from a beautiful friend of mine. Bro, dangerous.
Hey, man, you got to let Russ cook. Brian Schottenheimer and, for real, Dave Canals, they are putting together a hell of an offensive game plan. 14 touchdowns in the first 3 games, NFL first. This is an incredible offense to watch through the air, man. He is just dropping that ball right into a bucket to Tyler Lockett and DK Metcalf and everybody involved in the passing game.
Hey, bro, DK, last week, what the hell?
Hey, man, we're going to forgive him. He's a hell of a player, all right? A hell of a player. He will have an opportunity to showboat a little bit, and he got a little, he was feeling himself, but we're going to forgive him. We're going to move on. We're on next week, and it'll be all right.
Got the W, so yeah, I guess, I bet
Absolutely.
That was funny as hell.
Man, let me tell you, my reaction to that play couldn't be anywhere near what he heard in the locker room after the game, man.
All right, so Russ has Miami.
Yes, he does.
That's going to be the lead running back, but we'll talk about that because Jerry's coming on right after you. We know Russ is cooking. Give me a player to focus on this Sunday and where you see Seattle going in the next 4 to 5 weeks.
Do you want me to tell you where I think they're going in the next 4 to 5 weeks, or do you want me to tell you where I hope they're going in the next 4 to 5 weeks?
You're a Seattle fan, so give me your hopes and expectations.
All right. I hope that our defense gets it together, because I don't know if you guys are paying attention to the defensive side of the ball for Seattle, but, man, they are 32nd in yards per game. They are 32nd in passing yards per game, 22nd in points in game. They are struggling on defense. They can't pressure the quarterback to save their lives. They are 22nd in sacks. I mean, 5 sacks over 3 games when you've got teams that have double digits already is just atrocious, man. I don't know what's going on with that defensive line. Our secondary is porous at best. I mean, Ken Norton's got to get these guys together and get them playing better, or else, I mean, defense wins championships, man. I believe that from day one. It ain't going to go well unless they get the defensive side of the ball working.
All right, so since you know that the defense is a question mark, nobody's saying nothing because y'all are 3-0 and Russ is cooking. The second y'all lose, you already know.
Oh, it's
Give
happening.
me a play. Since Chris Carson is out and we know Russ is cooking, give me a player to watch on Sunday.
You know, I think you got to watch the tight ends. I think it's really going to come down. Greg Olson's has been pretty involved in the offense. You know, we have several tight end weapons. I think they need to get the tight ends a little more involved in that short intermediate passing game to compensate because, you know, Chris Carson has had a rough go of it already, not to mention getting his leg all twisted up by the Cowboys. But I'm really hoping that they can overcome these issues.
All right. Now, for those who don't know, since this is your first trip on the Carousel, tell everybody who you are, where they can find you, and go Seahawks. Your minute. Go for it.
All right, yeah. So I got involved with the Truth Serum football. Joey and Jordan are doing great things over there now. I've kind of stepped back a little bit. I'm still a little behind the scenes. Make sure you check them out. The Truth Serum, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, YouTube. Check those guys out and go Hawks.
All right. Jeffrey Logenkamp, this won't be your last time on the Carousel. Thank you for coming on.
Appreciate it, Alex. Have a good night, man.
All right, now, since we got Seattle's portion, let's go to Miami's portion. Can you bring in Jerry Vastola for me, please? Jerry. How you doing, sir? Hey, I was live in Jacksonville last week, and Miami put a beat down on Jacksonville. The story switched a little bit. Now you're in Miami, but you got Dangerous coming to visit Miami. All right, so let's be real here. What's the game plan?
Man, we've got to have another Fitzmagic spectacular. You know, our defense clicked well against Jacksonville. They were able to hold things in check, but Seattle's got a lot of vertical threats. You know, they can make things happen and quick. Our saving grace is their defense. As he was saying, you know, it's they're suspect, and I think Miami might be able to take advantage of that. You know, we've got a lot of young guys, but with Fitzpatrick at the helm, a lot of experience. You know, his record speaks for himself. He can get some things done.
So the reporter in me noticed that Miami had 2 13-play drives in the first half, both culminating into touchdowns. Myles Gaskin got that work.
Oh, yeah. We got a little freeze there, but we can go with Miles. That's why I'm wearing the shade. His future's so bright, I got to wear shades. He's looking good. We drafted him in the 7th round. Got him up in the 7th round for a steal of a pick. He was the Pac-12's leading rusher in history. He's got
Husky.
he was one of 2 people. I had to write the name down, but it was Ron Dane, the Heisman Trophy winner in '99, who is the only other guy, along with Gaskins, to have 1,200 yards a season for 4 seasons straight. He had over 1,200 yards. That's something special. And I like that he came in. He's been young. He's young. He's buying into the schemes that Flores is doing, and he's obviously made an impact there on the team. I'd like to hope that this was the plan all along, kind of like what we did with Fitzpatrick, bringing in some veteran ideas and somebody to help with the helm. I think maybe Howard and Breda had that kind of action as well to be able to help out the younger guys and build the team. Obviously they're great players as well, so they're always going to be a help. Jordan Howard at the goal line is very nice to see.
All right, so we're running low on time, so I'm asking 2 questions. One, how is Miami going to attack Seattle? Because we know that with that offense. So what's Miami's plan against Seattle? And 2, promote yourself, bro. How can people follow you or find you online?
All right, well, with Miami, I think they're just going to have to play hard. Like I said, with Jacksonville, we were able to put the ball together on both sides of the field, offense and defense. Our defense was there, was making good stands. It's going to be tough with Russell Wilson out there. He's making an MVP caliber campaign right now. But we've got the youth, and I think we'll have a little bit of hope at home. And if you're looking for me, I'm Jerry V. You can find me. Actually, I'm really into trading cards, SNS sports cards, something you can look up on Facebook if you're interested. Got all sorts of stuff going there. And I look forward to coming back next week with another W under my belt. And, hopes and dreams, baby. Hopes and dreams.
Jerry Pistola, Miami Dolphins. Thank you. We'll see you later.
Yep. Appreciate it, brother.
All right, guys. All right, so everybody was looking forward to that Monday night matchup against Baltimore versus Kansas City. Only problem is only one team showed up. Every single time somebody's tried to bring smoke to this lovely lady, she's been nothing but modest and just been knocking them down. Let's bring in Carrie Johnson. Carrie, are you there? Are you there, Carrie?
I'm here. I'm needing to know where all my can you see me? Okay, I need to know where all my haters have been, because they keep telling me this is going to be your week that you go down, and we're still up. I told you my boys are going to out for blood. They're going to take it all the way again.
All right, let me ask you a realistic question. Nobody since the 1972 Dolphins have went undefeated, but you guys have been putting a hurting on everyone. So, being a fan, realistic expectations. Who do you see on the schedule that's going to take you guys off the Kings list?
So, honestly, Steelers. Steelers are the team that are going to give us a run for our money. Big Ben, we haven't been good with Big Ben, right? Big Ben usually comes in and takes away our steam. So yeah, he's on point right now. He's having a great season. That's the one that I think would be who can potentially take us down. And honestly, let's have that taken down now, because I want the wins in the postseason.
All right, now, Mahomes has been on fire. Travis Kelce has been a double-double machine when it comes to fantasy. Tyreek hasn't disappointed. Clyde Edwards-Helaire, out of nowhere, looking like the #1 draft pick.
Right.
Of this arsenal, who do you think is going to have a big game against the New England Patriots this Sunday?
You didn't mention Watkins. And usually when you talk those three guys, you talking Hill, you're talking Kelce, who's my guy, and you're talking our new Fresh Prince. Those are going to be people they're going to want to cover. So then what happens when those are covered? Watkins. Now he's going to have to get past the dropsies that he had for the Ravens. But, Watkins could be the one that comes in and has the game, because they're going to be too busy worrying about Um, I'm sorry, my brain just went on. They're going to be covering Kelsey, Hill, and Fresh
It's my
Prince.
fault that I never mentioned Sammy Watkins because I think of the quarterback, I think of the tight end, I think of Tyreek, and I think of the running back. Nobody really thinks about Robin. And right now, Sammy Watkins is playing Robin.
Oh, yes. He's, it's almost like he was given a fresh chance to breathe, to rebuild himself or become reinstated as a power that he is at the Chiefs. And so it's given him a chance to say, hey, I'm here. Check me out.
All right, now let's be real before I let you go. Captain America's not going to lie down for you guys. You saw the fight they had week 2 against Seattle. And Stephon Gilmore is going to keep Tyreek real quiet. Do you expect this to be a blowout or a close game, knowing that you got to deal with the hoodie?
Well, I was thinking about this. We shut down Lamar. We took away the only yards he really got was when he was running, and we didn't even let that happen a lot. If our defense gets even closer to our Super Bowl caliber, because I saw a really good glimpse of that this last game, I think we're going to come in and we're going to be able to keep Cam in check. Now, if Cam starts doing his long ball again, and we know Mahomes can, it could turn out into a shootout. It could be the sleeper game that we wanted the Ravens and the Chiefs to be, and that could be that game. It just depends on I think it depends on how much passing Cam's willing to do, and if they can get that going.
Kerry Johnson.
Yes, sir.
You've been amazing. You are such a bright light. These guys better be careful because anytime they try to bring heat your way, your Kansas City Chiefs cool them off. This won't be your last time on the carousel. Thank you for coming on.
Thank you, sir. You have a great evening.
All right. Now, let's talk about a team that's in desperate need of a W. Now, the numbers have been there. So don't look at the offense. Defense has been, let me be nice. Can you bring in Megan Price? Megan to the building. Megan.
Hola.
Hola, ¿cómo está?
Muy bien.
Y tú, hey, talk to me about these Cowboys, man. You're 1-2, but for once, no one's saying anything about Dak. His numbers speak for themselves. Number one passing yards.
Yeah, Dak definitely, his numbers are speaking for themselves. Like, I'm not usually that sold on Dak recently, or in the past couple of seasons, but honestly, like this year, I have no blame on Dak whatsoever. Like, he's definitely putting up the numbers. He's putting up the performances that we really need. So I can't blame Dak. I can't blame Dak at all. Honestly, our defense is our pass defense in reality. Our pass defense is just atrocious. Where I think we're 30
Megan, hold on. Megan, I'm sorry. I have to interject here. As someone who is in your division and your hated rival, I have to come into this right now because listen, here is what I will say about your team. And let me be perfectly clear. You are probably one of now 7. Yes, I can count on 2 hands how many Dallas Cowboy fans I actually respect. You fall into that category. So I'm going to be nice. I really am. Because if you were a typical troll Cowboy fan, this conversation wouldn't even happen. But for the purposes of the carousel, I had to interject and ask a couple questions to you.
Go ahead.
My first question to you is this. How is your defense going to survive without Van Der Esch? Because, see, Sean Lee is gone.
Oh, yeah.
And Van Der Esch seems to be the guy who makes that defense go.
Okay, well, I have like a whole little piece that I wanted to talk about as far as our defense, and that guy is going to be Aldon Smith. Aldon Smith, he took 4 years off of for the NFL. Like, he was inactive for 4 years and he made a comeback. I love a great comeback story. And Aldon Smith, he has 4 tackles, 3 sacks, and 4 QB hits. Like, he's my player of the week, honestly. Like, I think he's going to make that much of a difference with Cleveland because all they do is run the ball. And Odell and Baker don't have any chemistry at the moment. They have before, but they don't have it at the moment. So, like, they're just going to run the ball. And running the ball, Dallas is only allowing 4 yards. Now, our pass defense, it's trash.
See, we can agree on something because I'll be the first one to admit Philly's secondary is garbage, and I can say that
we're banged up. You know what I mean? Like, and nobody knows if Sean Lee's coming back. Van Der Esch is done. Like, I think Aldon Smith is going to be the one. He's our one shining light of hope.
Can you talk to me though about Jalen Ramsey, because I feel like this guy, when he came to Dallas, there was that expectation. Mm-hmm. And he, in the past 3 weeks, I think in some regards has lived up to it. Let me get Alex back in here so he can talk to you about this. But I'm sorry. Whenever Dallas is on, I'm like, I got to say something. It's the Philly in me. But let me go ahead and get my man Alex in here. Go ahead. I'm going to shut up and leave. I'll talk to y'all later.
Okay.
You see that? That's a jaded Philly fan right there.
Yeah, for sure. It's not the year for them to talk trash.
No, because they got San Francisco coming this Sunday. They're about to be 0-3-1.
I tell you what, like, I'm pretty worried about Cleveland. Like, they're no joke this season. Like, it's not their pass game that I'm worried about. It's their run game that I'm worried about. And that's what Mike McCarthy, he should be presenting that type of intimidation because we have Zeke. Why is he not using him?
Here's my question to you. That pass defense and run defense of Cleveland could be a problem. Myles Garrett is weak. Let's just be completely honest about that.
He's coming off a 2-sack game. You know, like, I'm very concerned about that, especially with I can't remember what our Tyron Smith is out. Like, he practiced some this week, but it was limited. And so I don't see him being game time ready. I think we'll see him next week or the week after, but I don't see him in this game. So when Dak dips back to pass, which is obviously going to happen, we're going to have a tough time. We're going to have a tough time for sure.
One last question. Well, 2 actually.
Okay.
One, who is hot this week? Obviously, Dak is there, but another player. And 2, what do you know about this Cedric Wilson cat?
Oh my gosh, that's who I was going to pick for my hot this week. You know, Cedric Wilson made his presence known last week. Like, he's definitely in the reign of capable receivers. We're not using Zeke to his capability. So until I see McCarthy be able to use the pass game and show me that the run game, until he shows me that he can use his running back, I'm not picking Zeke as player of the week.
Okay. Expectations for this week's matchup against the Browns.
Well, you know, the Browns haven't beaten us in Dallas since 1994. So I would love to go into this game super confident. We lost to the Bears last year and we were super confident. So I just want to go in and say that I feel like this is a pretty evenly matched game, but I see us going 24-13, us up.
All right. Megan Price. Take your 30 seconds. Let people know how they can find you, and I'll see you on the carousel another day.
Absolutely. I am on Exclusive Sports in Facebook. I'm in the Sports Gauntlet on Facebook, and I constantly post that on my regular page as public. So feel free to join. Add me, Megan Price, Facebook. That's my main page.
All right. Thank you, Megan.
Thank you.
All right. Now, I want to go from a team that was 3-0 in Seattle, a team that was 3-0 in KC, and a team that's 3-0 that you probably didn't expect. The Monsters of the Midway are back, ladies and gentlemen, because Chicago, even with all the turmoil, is undefeated. Can I get a Chicago representative? Is Travis in the house?
That's a homer thing right there, man.
Is Travis in the house?
Travis is in the house, my friend Alex. How you doing? How's it going out there?
How you doing, sir?
Talking
Hey,
about my
remind the
smoking
people who
mirrors
you are.
beers here, Alex. Talking about my smoking mirrors beers again. Hey, I think we're going to get a little bit more stable these days with the quarterback change. Mitch is out and Nick is in. It's something we've all, as Bear fans and members, I'd have to say, of the media, have been waiting for ever since this move was made by Ryan Pace in the offseason. Try to solidify that quarterback position because there is a window of opportunity here, Alex. We made that big trade for Khalil Mack, and you don't want to waste the best years of that man's career by middling with a lower than average quarterback that is arguably the worst deep ball thrower in the National Football League. Nick Foles, on the other hand, can throw the deep ball, can read a defense. Two of the biggest problems that Mitch Trubisky had as a quarterback for the Chicago Bears. A lot of heart, a lot of hustle, sometimes not the brain for the game or the tools.
All right, now that you got Big D Nick as the starter in Chicago, you're facing the Indianapolis Colts that was worth about 1 million points in defense on fantasy last week. How is Chicago going to attack this defense of the Colts that actually look good?
They look very good. They're first in the league against the rush. I believe fourth against the pass. Number 1 in the league. Darius Leonard's just blowing up for Indianapolis. This is a good matchup for the Bears and for the Colts. It's going to be start and stop in this game, like it is in most football games, Alex, at the offensive and defensive lines. We all know that the Colts have built their team for the run and to give Philip Rivers the 2.5 seconds that he needs to throw the ball, because that's how fast he gets rid of the ball, Alex. He's a quick quarterback, but on third down, that's where it comes into problems for Philip Rivers, where he's only 52 quarterback rating for third downs, and their percentage is fairly, I believe, in the under 40 range. So Bears got to get to Philip Rivers quickly because he gets rid of the ball quick, and they have to stop the monster running game with the offensive line and Taylor from Wisconsin.
2 questions before I let you out of here. Defensive standout for the Bears, because that Bears defense is legit, and offensive standout that you're paying attention to this week.
Well, I think we're going to get Robert Quinn really moving up. They're going to double team out on the outside against Mack, and they're going to have to get some pressure from Quinn. So I'm looking for Quinn from a big game. The Bears, 25 pressures, 17 hits, 8 hurries, 7 sacks. Mack's had an outstanding season so far. So I believe this game is going to start and stop once again with the offensive and defensive lines and who can get pressure and if we can get to Philip Rivers. Once again, Philip Rivers isn't a great fourth quarter comeback. He's actually 13th of all time, but he's really struggled over the last couple of years, and especially at the end of the season against the Raiders, where they had opportunity and blew it because he couldn't move the ball, complete a pass, sort of like Matt Ryan last week in Atlanta, who absolutely blew that game against the Bears. And Nick looked great. Couple guys dropped touchdowns. Nick could have had 5 touchdowns in that game, but Atlanta was plagued with injuries, and Matt Ryan and the coach they don't know how to run the ball, Alex. They don't know how to run the ball or use the clock. So once again, Alex showed it, or Atlanta showed themselves to be the choker that they are and let the Bears back into that game. And Nick had a monster fourth quarter. Absolutely.
Travis, market yourself before I let you go on the carousel and before we go 4-0.
Absolutely. You can catch me on Rocket Sports and Entertainment. Go Lightning. We're just at the event, the parade, and the event at Raymond James Stadium. You can track our work at Travis Bailey or Travis RSEN, or look me up on Travis Bailey Photography or Rocket Sports ENT.com and KNAC.com for all your rock and metal news, including a fantastic interview with Rob Halford from Judas Priest. Thanks, Alex. I appreciate you giving me some time.
Right. No problem. Before we get to our first debate tonight, I want to show that there could be civility in football, unlike our politics. We just had Megan Price on with the Dallas Cowboys. I'd like to bring in the Cleveland Brown representative to get his perspective. Byron, are you in the house?
Oh, yeah, man. What's going on? How you doing, Alex?
What's good? All right, so Cleveland Browns, 2-1. Mm-hmm. You are tied in the AFC North but you got the Cowboys.
Oh yeah.
What you feeling?
Well, a little bit of emotion there. You know, Dallas Cowboys offense is really explosive. You know, they got plethora of wide receivers between CeeDee Lamb, this new rookie, and the other rookie they got out there, and Cedric Wilson. He showed out last week. So, and then, you know, the main two that they got in Gallup and Amari Cooper. So, you know, they're lacking in the tight end spot, but I think they'll make that up real quick, obviously. So we're going to have our work cut out for us on the defensive side of the ball. The DBs that we have been a little banged up. You know, Greedy Williams is not – I don't know if he's going to be out there again this week. He missed practice earlier in the week. And so that's going to be a challenge for that defense. You know, the safety play has been a lot better than I had expected in Carl Joseph, you know. So that's going to be a crapshoot. I think the Browns are going to have to really on the offensive and defensive side of the ball just stick to their game plan, right? The defensive line showed a lot of prowess last weekend. So, you know, if they can get into Dak Prescott and put some pressure on them, that will slow that offense down a little bit. And then on the offensive side of the ball, we just got to run the football. You know, that's what the identity is, right? Run the football, try to get about 200 yards a game, a couple touchdowns on the ground, and sneak a couple passes in the air, right? You know, I do expect for them to have to pass a little bit more than they have done over the last couple games just because of the nature of how Dallas plays. Like, they can't get too far behind, so they're going to have to come up with some sort of big plays. So I think last week, how I told you, Jarvis Landry was going to probably connect a little bit more with Baker, or Baker Mayfield would connect with Landry a little bit more last week. I think they're going to have to do that this week. There has to be a complete balanced offense in order for them to have a shot at winning. So,
all right. So you got Nick Chubb and you got Kareem Hunt, and so far it's working. What's the key element for Cleveland to use against Dallas to win this game? The passing game, or keep matriculating the ball down the field with the two elite running backs?
It's really going to be running the ball and play action. You know, we just got to control the clock. That's it. I mean, Dallas can really score at will, and if we just let them just start doing what they did last week, especially in the second half, we'll get so far behind so quick it won't even be funny. It'll look like the Baltimore game all over again. So they're going to have to run the ball, stick with their game plan. Don't let Baker do too much. Just let him get out there, make his do the play action like they've been doing, and catch them off guard a little bit. You know, if they can run the ball effectively, which I think the offensive line is strong enough against that Cowboys front to be able to run the ball more so with Chubb. I think we may or may not. I'm not sure if we're going to see Hunt because I think he got a little bit of a growing issue. He still might play, but as of right now, I know earlier in the week he didn't practice either. So that could cause some issues because now you're going to have to rely heavily on Chubb, and they'll start keying on that. So that's why I'm saying I think that Odell, Jarvis, they're going to have more of a game plan wrapped around those guys and get them the ball a little bit more. But you still got to run the ball. That's what they do well. They don't really pass the ball well. If we have to let Baker throw 45 passes a game, I don't see that being a recipe for success. So, like right now, run the ball, and you know, you sprinkle your passes in. You're definitely going to have to get Odell and Landry more schemed plays, right? I haven't seen enough plays where they scheme the ball or scheme them open. You know what I'm saying? Like when we start seeing a little more of that, where plays are really directed at getting them the ball, and not gimmicky plays. I mean, truly schemed plays, combination routes, things that like plays that offer one player to get open, and it's their best players, Odell and Jarvis.
So Byron. All right, so Byron, tell people how they can find you on Facebook, Instagram, social media before I let you go.
Oh yeah, you can catch me at ASC365. So Twitter is Twitter, all social media, ASC365 LLC or ASC365. And then we got a website, www.asc365.com.
All right. Thank you, Byron.
Got it.
Good luck to the dog pound. All right, so Tampa has a matchup this Sunday against a wide receiver that was whoop-de-wooing earlier this year. Keenan Allen felt like he was better than Mike Evans, and that, he accidentally called him Chris Godwin. Tyrod Taylor was sabotaged by his own medical staff and entering Justin Herbert. Now, I just recently released an article called Too Many Mouths to Feed, Tampa Bay Buccaneers, but this isn't fair unless we have J.B. Ellis in with us to talk about this little debate we're about to have. Is JB in the building?
What's going on, Alex? How you doing tonight?
Mr. Ellis, how are you, sir?
Doing well. All
right, now, Eric Wilson is going to be the moderator for this debate, but before
That's
we
right.
get into this
I'm
debate,
here.
Give me 2 minutes and speak on your Chargers.
So, it was a tough week last week. The defense stepped up. They played a good game. Herbert's a rookie. He made some mistakes, fumble, interception. They still had a chance to win the game. It's going to happen. They got a lot of good young players. Still a lot of positive to be had here. I'm liking where the season's going, and I think, we're going to go take care of business this week.
All right, Eric, you know what we need to do? Jump on in.
All right, gentlemen, you know how it's going down. You each get 2 minutes to talk. There's going to be a 30-second cool-off period, and then there's going to be a 45-second rebuttal. Please understand, gentlemen, as much as I like you both, and I have to respect you. So we're going to play a quick outbreak of the Carousel music so our fans know who we're talking about. When we come back, JB Ellis, your 2 minutes are going to start as soon as this ends.
Carousel, 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 this the carousel. On or you off, either you're on or you're off, either you're on or you're off. Knock 'em out. Carousel, 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 this the carousel. On or you're off, either you're on or you're off, either you're on or you're off. Knock 'em out.
So this week we're traveling down to the retirement community in Tampa Bay, where Tom Brady has got out to pasture and Gronk has come back in. You got the receivers who can't stay healthy. So I really don't see much of a problem with this game. We got our rookie quarterback who was 3 the last time, I think, when Tom started. We have a phenomenal rushing game. We got Eckler and Kelly who, are like Batman or Robin back there. Whoever's the hot hand is going to take care of it. Our defense is taking care of business. We got to hope that Bosa's doing all right. But, when it's all said and done, very few quarterbacks when they're rookies to beat Tom. But this isn't, Bill Belichick Tom Brady. This is retirement Tom Brady. I don't see the same things that I've seen in him for all the years that he's been playing. He's still great, and Mike Evans is good, but those receivers got to stay healthy. And, where's Gronk? He's disappeared. When it's all said and done, we got Keenan Allen as one of the best receivers in the AFC, taking care of business as usual. We got Guyton, who's a nice young receiver. We're good all around on offense. The line's got to step up and give some more blocking for Herbert. But besides for that, I think, when it's all said and done, we travel across the country and we put Tampa to sleep. What happened?
I guess it's my turn. All
Go
right,
ahead, sir.
so
You already
the
know how to.
San
You don't need.
Diego-
Listen.
I'm sorry.
You don't need
I
me.
meant Los Angeles Chargers are going to fly all the way across country to get beat by another NFC South opponent. But unlike Carolina, Tampa is going to treat the Chargers like Madonna and touch Herbert for the very first time. You're going to get sacked a lot, bro. We're number 1 against the run. So all that stuff you were talking with Austin Eckler and Kelly, that sounds good and all. It's just not going to happen. I see a lot of dump passes. I see a lot of 4 and 5 yard outs that aren't going to get anywhere. Oh, and Keenan Allen? Keenan Allen is an excellent route runner, but I do not believe that he's going to be able to go against the monstrosity known as Mike Evans and Chris Godwin. Oh, yeah, that's right. Godwin's out, but we won't need him because we got Scotty Miller and we got Tyler Johnson and we got Leonard Fournette and we got Ronald Jones and we got Gronk and we got OJ. And can someone put the man that's on a milk carton, Cameron Brate, back into the show, please? I mean, he's been missing in action. Here's my point, JB. Too many mouths to feed. Too many weapons. And you're missing Derwin James and Melvin Ingram. And you know that's got to hurt. Melvin Ingram without Nick Bosa, when the Twins activate.
Wow, I think he just froze on you with that Wonder Twin power right there. I think that's what just happened, and he still had 20 seconds to go. I'm
good. Give it back to JB.
Okay. JB, 45 seconds, sir, as a retort. Gentlemen, I'm not even going to come back in. When you see the 10 seconds pop up, you done. Alex, take over with the last word. JB Ellis, your turn, sir.
All right. So we're just going to, get off the plane, take care of business. We don't need to worry about too many mouths to feed because we're going to feed the right mouths. Keenan Allen getting the most balls thrown at him, taking care of business as usual, does what he needs to do, doesn't say much, just goes out there and performs. Eckler, a PPR machine, 265 yards from Allen. Eckler, Ed Kelly, if you can just dump the ball to them. 4 yards of play, three times is 12 yards, is first down. I'm not worried. At our defense, we stopped the Chiefs, 23 points to the Chiefs. What's Tom Brady going to do? He's not Patrick Mahomes. He doesn't have that type of offense. Not going to happen.
So all I'm going to say is Justin Herbert's going to feel like he's been stuck in San Francisco, all the amount of men that's going to be piling on top of him. It's going to be ugly this Sunday. Look for there to be a lot of sacks, a lot of hits, a lot of deep balls from an old man named Tom Brady. Look for Ronald Jones and Leonard Fournette to just eat up that clock. Look for Keenan Allen to be frustrated because every time he touches the ball, he's going to get hit. This is going to be a nasty, nasty game on Sunday because a lot that we can agree on, football players don't forget about trash talk. And Keenan Allen was talking in the offseason, like talking, bro. So you know what? Now it's time to pay the piper. Tampa Bay, too many mouths to feed. Stay tuned.
Ladies and gentlemen, that's a taste of what you get here on the Carousel. Sometimes, the host, he got to make sure he let everybody know this is the Carousel. And as we say, either you're on or you're off. JB Ellis, thank you so much, brother, for joining us tonight. I really appreciate your time. Hey, me and Alex going to slide out the way. Please promote yourself once again, and then we'll be back.
Sounds good. So you can follow me at on Twitter, JB_the program. You can listen to my podcast there where I have some interviews going. Had Andre Dawson, as well as, a bunch of other NFL people, Sean Riley, who was with the Patriots. You can follow me on Journey with the Jays on YouTube and Facebook Live. A Journey with the J3 there. And definitely give me a follow, and I look forward to seeing you guys in the future on the Carousel.
Carousel, yeah. Carousel, yeah. Carousel, this the Carousel. On or you off, if you're on or you're off, if you're on or you're off, what? Knock 'em out. Carousel, yeah. Carousel, yeah. Carousel, this the Carousel. On or you off, if you're on or you're off, if you're on or you're off, what? Knock 'em out.
Before I bring in my man that represents the Bills Mafia and Bills World, I just want to say a special shout out and thank you to KP for the selfie ring light because it brings in my best features and it just makes me look so damn sexy. With that being said, I want to bring in the guy who barely escaped the Rams. He's wanted all of the smoke. And speaking of smoke, are you willing to gamble on Vegas? Because this guy is. Enter in my man, Mookie Hawkins.
Barely escaping the Rams? That's the introduction you're giving out?
hey, don't act like the Rams didn't give you some business, bro. Don't pretend the Rams didn't give you.
Don't act like we was blowing the Rams' ass out neither. Don't act like we wasn't blowing their ass out neither. All right? Let the record reflect that. Okay.
We talked. 28-3 is a cursed number.
Hey, you let me know any other NFL team that got Aaron Donald and Jalen Ramsey down 28-3. And then, come holler at me. You know what I mean? I don't know any other offense that had that defense down like that at all. I mean, it's premature. You know what I mean? It's still we still in preseason mode. You know what I mean? We still in preseason mode. You got the first 4 games of the season is considered to me preseason, just how Coach McDermott is addressing it. So we're going to address that as such. The first 4 games of the season right now is still preseason-esque, if you want to, say, if you will. But guess what? Bills are 3-0. What's the excuse? Everybody in Jimmy Hoffa knew that they were supposed to beat the Jets and the Dolphins. Okay, everybody came with that excuse on why Josh Allen's throwing these 300 yards and all this stuff. But here we are, Jalen Ramsey, Mr. Trash Man himself. All right, and we did score a touchdown on him, and it was 3rd and goal. All right, we ain't shying away from our best receiver because Jalen Ramsey is checking him. So what did he get? Scored on, all right? He got scored on, all right? My man Diggs kicked the ball with how he ever do it every time he does it, all right? So at the end of the day, Josh Allen's still throwing 300 yards a clip. Josh Allen's still throwing over 70% a clip. Bills is 3-0.
Hey, real talk. If it wasn't for Russell Wilson, a lot of MVP votes would go to Josh Allen. Russell finally getting the shine.
You froze. You froze on me, pimp.
You talk to this team on the regular. So what's gotten into Josh Boucher this year, brother?
What's going on? I mean, the game has probably slowed down to him a little bit. He understands the playbook. I mean, he understands that wholeheartedly. He understands that. He recognizes the protections. He knows how to maneuver those protections. So he has this offense, this passing offense on smash right now. He can alter whatever he needs to alter. He sees things before it actually happens. So you want to see that in your young quarterback, your young franchise quarterback. You want to see that. You want to see that development. I have not seen that develop in a Baker Mayfield. I have not seen that develop in a Sam Darnold. Who and where can somebody tell me where the hell Josh Rosen is? All right, so only person that's doing better than Josh right now in this draft is Lamar Jackson, and he's not doing good. He's not doing better than Josh this year. All right, so at the end of the day, we barely escaped. If y'all want to nickname it that, at the end of the day, the Bills squandered. The Rams scored 29 unanswered, but guess what? Captain Clutch do marched right down like the Rams wasn't winning anything. And hey, we got some football guys. The football guys are on our side on that PI. But guess what? It was 3rd and 22. Wait a minute. I see your hand over there. 3rd and 22. 3rd and 22. Josh Allen delivered 23 yards. All right. So that's where I'm talking about growth, the evolution, and the crazy part about it all, Alex, the offense is carrying the team. Wait till the defense join the party. That's crazy. The defense been carrying us for the past 3 years. So when they get their shit together, oh man, Kansas City, look out. We got something for y'all in a couple of weeks.
Hey, real talk. You get to face Vegas this week. Now, I invited Phil Jones, but for some odd reason, Phil didn't want none of your smoke. I invited him, and he was like, man, you ain't got no wide receivers. Josh Jacobs a little bit banged up. I don't know. I got to face Mookie Hawkins. I don't know, man. I don't know. That's why you don't see him right now.
Yeah, no smoke.
What's the plan against the
Well, you're looking at, I see my guy over there, the Philly guy over here with his hand raised. Let me just break some by the numbers down. Josh Allen right now is the first NFL player in NFL history, with 10 touchdowns, with 10 passing touchdowns, all right, 2 rushing touchdowns in the first 3 games of the season. Nobody's ever done that in NFL history. All right, the Bills is scoring 27 plus points a game right now. That's actually, the Bills are third in the NFL right now, scoring 31 points. The Raiders right now are eighth at 29. The difference is the Raiders give up 30 points a game, which is great for us. The difference is the Raiders don't get to the quarterback. The Raiders got 3 sacks on the season, which is ranked 29. You think that they're going to touch Josh Allen on Sunday? I don't think so. And you better hope that Motor Singletary don't get going, because it's going to cause a problem. The Bills are 3-0 right now, and it's still so much room for improvement. That's the scary part about all of that. That's why nobody want no smoke with me. And where's that guy with his hand raised all the damn time? You bring him in here, please. Bring him in here.
Mr. Hawkins, I just have a question, sir. I just have one question. That's all I'm asking. Can I ask my question, please?
Yeah, absolutely, sir.
Who covering Diggs? Say it with your chest.
Say, who's covering Diggs? Damon Arnett, he's hurt. All right, so who's covering Diggs? Derek Carr. But the crazy part about that, when you cover Diggs, you gotta account for Brown. When you account for Brown, you gotta account for Beasley. When you account for Beasley, you gotta account for Gabe Davis. Josh Allen don't have no favorites. He's throwing to the open guy. All right, that's why he's averaging 300 yards a game. That's why he was AFC Player of the Month.
Real talk, real talk. I got nothing against Dawson Knox. Not a damn thing against him. But Josh seems to have more trust in Tyler Kroft. Do we have a tight end controversy?
It's no tight end controversy. Josh and Dawson Knox, they drink beers together every day. All right. Tyler Kroft is doing what he's paid to do. We paying him $7 million. He's supposed to have been the starter, but with injuries and trying to catch up in this game, he ended up being the number 2. And Dawson Knox ended up being that number 1, where he was drafted to be. Right now he's dealing with a concussion, but he practiced today and he practiced yesterday. So he could be easily out of that concussion protocol. And by the way, Tyler Kroft stepped up and played how he should play. And I mean, let's forget about the game-winning touchdown for a minute. We're talking about how he improved and developed as a blocker. All right. Now, a lot of people didn't see that game. I saw that game, and that's what I want to see out of my tight end. Can he do both? Can he be able to block, and can he be able to block and release and get open when the game is on the line? He showed that. And, we're glad that we have him here in Buffalo right now. But Dawson Knox is the starting tight end. When they both is there, then, you're going to see that dual tight end threat. And that's the crazy part about all of this. The offense is really just getting started. We haven't really showed anything. Josh has no favorites. Once again, everybody's getting their targets. Josh is very efficient. The Bills are winning ball games. And the defense got a lot of work to do, but they've been top defense for the past 3 years. So once they figure that shit out on the defensive end, and if the offense can stay consistent, I can't wait for Kansas City to bring their ass up in here Thursday night in 2 weeks.
Real talk? Real talk.
Yes, sir. Real talk.
All right. Now, Mookie, I don't want to interrupt the public from the barn burner that's going to be Denver versus the Jets. But other than Stephon Diggs and your man Josh Boucher, who should I keep my eye on against the Vegas this Sunday?
Offensively or defensively?
Offensively.
Well, it was a Cole Beasley sighting last week. He had 7 targets and caught 6 of them, and he had 100 yards. You know what I mean? So it's hard to prepare for it, because, if you watching Diggs, then Beasley gonna eat. If you watching Beasley, Smoke Brown gonna eat. So pick your poison. You know what I mean? It's like, watch Motor Singletary this week. Watch the motor.
That's what I wanted.
Watch the motor.
All right, Mookie, you came in and set this point.
Uh-oh, hold on.
I got you. Mookie, take 30 seconds to a minute, man. Let everybody know where they can find you, brother. We're going to fix Alex's technical difficulties here, brother. Good seeing you as always. And I want my Who Carding Diggs. I want my Who Covering Diggs shirt, man. I want my shirt.
Hey, they coming off the presses, man. I got both of y'all. Don't worry about it.
All right, let the people know where they can find you.
We get the Carousel lit. You can find me on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram at WUFO Sports, and that's WUFO Sports on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. You can check me with all my crazy interviews with the players, Coaches, I pull no punches. I'm the same guy in the meeting room with Coach McDermott, Steph Diggs, Josh Allen. Man, check it out.
Carousel, carousel, carousel. This the carousel. On or you off? Either you're on or you're off. Either you're on or you're off. Knock 'em out. Carousel, carousel, carousel. This the carousel. On or you off? Either you're on or you're off. Either you're on or you're off. Knock 'em out.
Before we go, so you can watch Denver, the Jets, I want to give a shout out to fantasy football community, Johnny Acevedo and Destiny Church. I want to give a shout out to KP, not only for her life, but being a good shining light in people's lives. Happy birthday, Jesse Phipps. Happy birthday, Jose Escora. Shout out to Unlimited Sports, the Gauntlet Fantasy Football Sports. Shout out to Joshua Cole Allen and the Audible. Shout out to Darnell Playmaker Sims. Shout out to Bills World, Bills Mafia, Mookie Hawkins for throwing it down. Punks jump up to get beat down. Don't nobody want that smoke. Oh, and shout out to JB Ellis, Danny Thompson, Danny Paquero, and everybody else that wants to jump on this carousel. You think you got enough to jump on the
Hey, bro,
carousel?
this ain't the Emmys, man. Hey, this ain't the Emmys or the Grammys or the Tonys, man. Colin's sitting out here waiting to talk to you, brother, man. The brother's been out here all night. Can we let Colin in, please?
Our last guest of the night, 0-3 Minnesota Vikings. Let's bring in Colin Ireland.
Colin, man, I'm sorry. He want to give shout out and praises like he done won the EGOT or something, man. My bad. I'm gonna let this brother go ahead and do his thing, man.
How you doing, sir? I can't hear you. I can't hear you.
There we go. Got me? All right.
There we go.
Sorry about that. Hey, how you doing, Alex? It's been a rough start for my Vikes this year. I'm not gonna lie, but
you could say you're 0-3 and you're facing Bob, who is also 0-3. And I think it's safe to say the loser of this game is done.
well, probably. But I mean, I don't know. I don't think Chicago's going to hold up all year. Although they did the right thing by finally putting Foles in there and giving up on that pipe dream of Mitch Trubisky being anything. So it's probably not the worst thing in the world for them. But Packers are looking good. But I'll tell you what, Vikings came out a little bit better this week. They looked like they had a heartbeat. Dalvin Cook looked like Dalvin Cook. And I want to thank the Philadelphia Eagles for not taking Justin Jefferson. I appreciate that. I'm sure Jalen Rager is working out very, very well for you.
Hey, Colin, I was trying to be nice to you, man. You know I got the mute button over here, man. I'm just saying I was trying to be, Alex was over here giving a monologue speech, but you're welcome. I'm just going to say you're welcome.
Thank you. And also that being said to Mookie, the Diggs guy, pretty similar stats between Jefferson and Diggs right now. So that's cool. We'll take Jefferson for about $7 million less. We'll take it. That's fine. No, this Vikings year has been a tough start. Being without Danielle Hunter has been a rough go. Not having Michael Pierce at D tackle, it's been hurting us, and our offensive line has been a habitual problem for a while. So it's a rough start, but I have a feeling we're going to come out strong against Houston, and I think we're going to pull it out this week.
All right, now no Danielle Hunter. And Adam Thielen, he did have a touchdown last week, but he got showstopped by Justin Jefferson. Now, I'm not going to lie. In one of my main leagues, I drafted Justin Jefferson, got frustrated, and dropped him a day before he went off for 175 yards, 7 catches, and a touchdown. What the hell happened?
Rookie receivers take time. I mean, he's going to go to his most trust receivers to start. I mean, Kurt looked terrible in the second week. I don't know. I thought maybe they thought the game started at 7:00 at night. I don't know, but they didn't look like they showed up for that game. But this one, they definitely came out a lot stronger. I think the symmetry between Thielen and Jefferson is going to be fine. I think the guy that the Vikings need to get more involved is a guy named Irv Smith Jr. I think he had a couple of good plays. One big one that got called back against Indianapolis, but I think he has the athleticism to really become a contributor as well. I think part of our problem is our archaic coaching staff. I mean, Zimmer and Kubiak and Dom Capers, I mean, they may have been great in the mid 90s, but 2020, I don't know. We need some better play calling because we curled up into the fetal position and lost a field goal battle to Tennessee, who rightfully was in the AFC Championship game. That was probably the best opponent we had all year, with all due respect to the Green Bay Packers. And for the most part, we shut Derrick Henry down. So I thought they played with a lot more heart. And I think Houston, I don't know what they were thinking by trading DeAndre Hopkins for him, getting what little they got back for him. I mean, David Johnson is just a sprained ankle away from his whole season being gone, and all they got was a second-round pick. So I see them, if they can control Deshaun Watson, I see them winning the game.
All right, so I'm going to give you 5 names, and I want you to put in the order on who's the least hot seat to sitting with the devil, okay? Adam Gase, Dan Quinn, Matt Patricia, Mike Zimmer, Bill O'Brien. Go.
I'm going to go definitely with Gase. I'm going to go with Dan Quinn. I feel like that's a tie. I mean, I don't know how you blow 3 14-point leads in the fourth quarter 3 weeks in a row. I don't know how you do that. Zimmer's on the bottom. Bill O'Brien's right behind those two. And who was the other one you said?
Matt Patricia, Adam Gase.
Patricia's fourth. Patricia's fourth. Zimmer's on the bottom. Although I would rather Zimmer be higher because I want the D coordinator from San Francisco, Saleh. But that's just me. So.
All right, so give me a player that you got your eyes on for this Sunday's matchup against the 0-3 Houston versus Vikings. Floor is yours, brother. You're closing out the show.
Heard. So this week, I wouldn't be surprised if you saw a good performance from Alexander Mattison. I think Houston's going to line up on Dalvin Cook, and I think they're going to get the play action pass going a little bit better. I think Cousins is going to roll out a little bit more. I think with the confidence that he now has in Justin Jefferson and hopefully opening up Irv Smith Jr. a little bit more, I think that's going to open the field up a lot more. And it's going to open up the field wide open to me for Alexander Mattison. So on the offense, I see Madison playing well. Defense, watch out for Holton Hill. I feel like Holton Hill literally is probably the most experienced corner, even though it's one of the most inexperienced secondaries. But I could see Holton Hill or Eric Kendricks having a big game on D. And watch out for Yannick Ngakoue. He's had 2 strip sack fumbles to start out the season. Can only imagine what he'd be like with Hunter, but I'd watch for Ngakoue this week as well.
Yannick Ngakoue, Colin Iron, Minnesota Vikings. Good luck to you this week.
Hey, and before you go, I want to give one quick shout out. My old high school, Cretin Durham Hall. Congratulations to Cretin grad Ryan McDonough and the Tampa Bay Lightning for taking home a Stanley Cup in Tampa. Only good hockey player that ever came from my high school, but great defenseman, and it was fun to watch. So, shout out.
Right on. Colin, thank you for being on the show. I want to get you on a matchup, you versus Chicago, coming soon. Can you be there?
I can be there. Just don't put somebody like Mitch Trubisky up against me, and we'll be all right.
I want to say thank you to all of my guests on the show. Carousel NFL on Twitter. If you think you got the guts to not cuss and actually speak some real football, shout out to the producer, Eric Wilson, for holding it down. Oh, and True Ambition for making the theme song. Carousel, either you're on or you're off.
Carousel, yeah. Carousel, yeah. Carousel, this the carousel. On or you're off, either you're on or you're off, either you're on or you're off. What? Knock 'em out. Carousel, yeah. Carousel, yeah. Carousel, this the carousel. On or you're off, either you're on or you're off, either you're on or you're off.